Oh,
there's a whole lot.
Yeah, I was trying, like, as it was going, it was like blowing my mind of like, oh man, that's awesome, that's awesome. Now I'm trying to think about all the awesome things that you just said. And we're back with another reaction video, and it's been a little while, hasn't it?
It's been about 2 or 3 months.
Oh my goodness. Well, our goal in this point now, with all the busyness of touring and things like that right now, is we're gonna strive to put out one video per week consistently. So come back every Monday, Tuesday-ish, or shooting for Monday, but it might spill into Tuesday for a brand new video. With this video, we're going to be reacting to a new song that the legendary Tom MacDonald just released. What's this song called?
It's called Names.
Names. What do you think of when you think of the word names?
Well, when I think of names, I think of like the importance of somebody's name, the legacy that they want to build.
Okay. Well, let's see what this is all about here in just a moment. Stay with us.
Time and again for a reason to say that my life was alright. I thought I knew what it was.
Welcome back to JSM. I'm Josh Snyder.
I'm Isaac Danford.
And as we stated a second ago, this is another reaction video to a Tom MacDonald original song that just released entitled Names. And so without further ado, let's jump right into this. We're going to be flowing throughout the video and pushing pause at certain key points and talking a bit about it. So let us know what you think as this progresses, and if you like or dislike some of the thoughts that we have on this particular song.
Leave it in the comments below, and like always, please hit the like and follow button and the little bell sign for notifications to get notified when we go live.
Yeah, it helps us immensely as we are trying to grow this thing effectively. And if you come along on this journey, I'm sure you'll find some things that'll encourage, uplift, and inspire, as we want to focus on faith, culture, music, and the arts. And so if you like any of those areas, especially those areas combined, follow along.
Without further ado, let's begin.
They gon' try to call you names, label you with things till you're ashamed. You're a sexist or a racist, white supremacist or gay. They'll attack your reputation, claim that you're the one to blame, and try to make you hate yourself for ways that you behave. They're just names, embrace them and they'll never cause you pain. They're just words that another person thought up in their brain. They're just names, they do not define you, that's insane. And they'll just call you something different if you change. Call me racist, I don't make no BLM donations. I can stand with black folks without a branded corporation. All this systemic prejudice, if you live in this nation, you privileged, black or Caucasian. Call me transphobic, but I support you in your policies. I just can't ignore the very basics of biology. All I see is men and women trying to live in harmony, not 100 genders that you wanna be. Call me snowflake, cause I'm offended, I ain't stone-faced. Social justice warriors destroying us with woke ways. Mad because they voted for the POTUS with the most hate. Man, I miss the old days. Call me loser, call me bigot, call me stupid, call me bitter, call me ugly, call me cracker, call me doucher, call me triggered. You can call me what you want, cause at the end of the day, man, they're just names.
Oh,
there's a whole lot.
Yeah, I was trying, like, as it was going, it was like blowing my mind of like, oh man, that's awesome, that's awesome. Now I'm trying to think about all the awesome things that you just said.
Well, I mean, no, it's kind of
what
like,
stuck out to you?
Well, I mean, names, like I was trying to say earlier, was like legacy. But in terms, the names that people call you will stick with you, and it's something that if they continue to call you those names, you'll either slip to that mentality or turn into something different, and they'll call you,
or they'll find
another
a
name, a new name for you.
I think the point of this song, what it's going to come down to, and we'll flesh this out as it goes along here, because it sounds like it's going to drop really hard in the chorus, is to basically say, don't worry about what people are calling you. That doesn't have to affect you, and it doesn't have to define you.
They're just words.
Especially if you're standing up for things that need to be stood up for. Don't let the woke mob, as we like to call them, define who you are and keep you silent because they don't like what you have to say.
One of the first things he said was that he doesn't make donations to the BLM, which is the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
But yet he has, he has a whole lot of friends of the African American culture.
He's saying, I stand with black folks, like, without making donations. I don't have to make donations to some company that, at its core, is fairly racist. If we're all honest, if everyone took a look at what they stood for, it is a fairly racist organization as is. So he says, I stand with them.
I have seen videos of people that are involved with or try to associate with the BLM movement trying to make like white people kiss their shoes for some reason, or give them restitution for something that they had no part in doing.
One of the fundamental morals of law is I'm not going to get punished for something my granddad did.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get punished for something my dad did. Now, there may be consequences that flow down to me naturally, but the system itself should not punish the grandkids, the great-grandkids, the great-great-grandkids of those who had failure.
For the actions of the forefathers.
Yeah. So I'm really liking where this is going. There's probably some stuff in there that we totally overlooked. So let us know something that stuck out maybe in that verse just in the comments below. And let's drop into this chorus here.
They're just names. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame. Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored.
One of the things I'd like to point out there
All right.
is that I don't know exactly how old he is, but in my generation, there was this saying that said, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." We don't have that in today's society because they get hurt by the smallest of words.
Yep.
And you get hurt for a group of people that you have no right or no need to get hurt for.
Yeah, we've heard it all before. Like, everyone has been oppressed at some point in time. Everyone has been verbally, physically,
mentally,
emotionally oppressed in their life. That doesn't mean everyone is running or should run around and act like everyone owes them something.
He said also that he hopes people find the Lord.
Yeah, see,
you find the Lord, you get that peace that goes about you. Now, that peace that passeth all understanding isn't necessarily like no problems are going to come at you, nothing's going to affect you, people aren't going to come and try and hurt you in any sort of way, mentally, physically, or spiritually.
Yeah.
But that peace is a guarantee knowing that you will get to heaven.
Yeah.
You will be able to overcome this because you've got a Lord that's right there that's got your back.
When you have God on your side, when you have the Lord, as he mentioned, again, I don't know where his faith journey is at right now. We're all learning and growing in this journey. But I do believe with all my heart that he nailed it right there when he said, I hope you find the Lord. Because truly, when you find the Lord, you will find peace. It is not as though, as Isaac said, that there will be no storms, but it is though we have the master of the storm in our boat. He'll take us through to the other side. And so let's hit this next verse and let us know what you think about that chorus if you heard some things that we didn't mention.
They gon' try to call you names, label you with things till you're ashamed. Repeat it till you really start believing what they say. They gon' stamp it on your forehead and scream it till you break. They love to say they woke, they not awake. They're just names, afraid of anyone who ain't the same. So they classify your thoughts as controversial, not okay. Then they cancel you till everything you have all gets erased. They tryna tell the world you bad, they're just names. Call me conservative or liberal, Republican or Democrat. I'm somewhere in the middle, but y'all don't know what to do with that. The system got you so obsessed with classifying right or left. You never call a person human, call them names instead. Call me sexist, men run the world cause they're aggressive. But behind every man there's a woman just as successful. We will never be equal in every way, that ain't helpful. Our differences are why we're great together.
Okay, we don't even have to finish that verse yet. We're gonna finish it in a sec.
There's so much.
Oh man. So he said, I'm somewhere in the middle, you don't know what to do with that, between the political side.
People that are woke ain't truly awake.
Yeah,
that's true.
Nailed it. Bam, bam, bam. And then he went on to say, men run the world, that's because they're aggressive. So it's true. You can look over history and see that men have ran the world. There's been an aggressive and a physical nature to that. Not saying it is all right. He wouldn't say that it's all right. But he goes on to say, just behind that man is a woman who's just as successful. Just because it is not recognized like it should be. I believe there should be more recognition given to women who it is due. You'll find a woman who is just successful behind every successful man.
The one thing that I like to point out about this is that woke people are not awake. Everyone that claims to be awake or woke is truly just blindly following the masses.
Sure.
Blindly just going with the flow, believing whatever they're told, and not doing any sort of investigation on themselves.
I don't want to get too off on this, but I believe that today's system as a whole starts at the very lowest levels of life either cutting it off or suppressing it very early on, and then when it gets into the education system as a whole, there is a huge amount of that education system that is turned into an indoctrination system instead. And again, we may have another video that goes off on
the kids that are going to school now are getting indoctrinated to support transgenderism and supporting, being gay, and are even getting guided by the teachers on how to do these steps at a young age when they don't even know what they're talking about. Somebody asks me a question about that, I'm going to say that there are only two genders.
Sure.
There's a male and there's a female.
And he goes on to say there's I support my brothers and sisters who are transgender, but I can't deny biology. I can't deny biology.
You cannot deny biology. And if we're going to go that, I know that there are people that are going to say that there are hermaphrodites as well, but those are very few and in between.
You never, ever, rule of thumb, you never base a rule on the 0.1%. You never base a whole rule. Like, for example, the abortion laws, I don't want to get too deep here, real quick. The abortion laws, a lot of people stand up and say, well, what about rape and incest? What about these over here? You never base the whole law on the 0.1%. The majority of abortions happen because of inconvenience. That is a fact.
Now, I'm not saying that, becoming pregnant is a crime. I'm not saying that if you get raped or molested, that's not a crime, because that's a bad thing that happens. There are other options, though. Oh man, let's get back into this, because there's so much more things. It comes back to the idea
that a lot of the stuff that we internalize is just names. They're just words. Though words are powerful, we should not let them define us, especially when they're coming at us from a people that are blending themselves to many of the truths that we see and we can observe today.
Oh yeah.
Names. Next part of this verse.
Call me white devil, I know you think the system favors me. My privilege is residual benefits from the slavery. Subconscious prejudice embedded in the system made for me. Don't mean I never struggled to survive, I guess we ain't agree. Ignorant and jaded, call me dumb, uneducated. Call me idiot or redneck or delusional or crazy. Call me anything society has taught you to say, cause at the end of the day, they're just names. Go ahead and call us names, dog, do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog, we feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. Go ahead and call us names, dog, do your thing. Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog, we feel no shame. Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored. Your sticks and your stones might break my bones, but your words don't hurt. So give me your worst. Stupid loser, ugly poser, moron, liar, crazy loner.
Ain't tripping because we heard it all before.
Yeah, and he went through a list of names that he's probably been called. Again, this guy.
Everybody's been called those names.
Sure, and this guy putting himself in a place where it's very controversial. There's a lot of crossfire based on words that are coming at him every moment, almost. I would expect. Again, millions of people are watching this dude.
It's wrong. There's a line in a movie. It's a very popular movie. It says, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all.
Can't say nothing nice, don't say it.
And that is a nickname that my mom gave me. From it's the bunny.
Thumper.
Thumper.
Oh, okay.
My nickname is Thumper, and it just so happens that I'm a drummer and my feet move really, really fast, like a bunny. So I'm gonna say that was the reason, but it was because I like to stand up for the people that couldn't stand up for themselves.
And we should.
The ones, like what we are supposed to do, like what Jesus did, stood up for the minority. He stood up for the people that normally society would backlash.
Yeah.
If you look at his disciples, he's got many people that were considered disciples, but who were the ones that he went after the most? Sinners.
Many of
the
them
ones who had pain, outcasts that nobody really liked.
That doesn't mean that I advocate for sin. If I look into something and see that it's not right, I'm not going to say, yeah, you go do you, boo. In America, I might stand back and say, you have the right to do that. I don't agree with it, but that's fine. You have the right to do that. You have the right to dress that way. You have the right to change yourself like that. That doesn't mean I agree with it. And it doesn't mean that my voting wouldn't reflect that, because I truly believe that there is such an indoctrination happening in the system right now that is causing many well-intentioned people that want to help advocate for those who can't speak to also affirm lifestyles that are actually unhealthy. And they are the demise to our mind, body, and eventually our soul if we continue to live on in sin and enmity with God. And if you stick around much at all, you'll find that we are very passionate about faith. We want to lay out the truth. We want to do so with grace. And we love every single one of you who are watching right now.
Let's finish this up. It doesn't have much longer
Yes,
left.
sir. Let's rock. I think we got a chorus to rock out here with.
Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. We ain't tripping cause we heard it all before. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no pain. Your words ain't gonna hurt us anymore. Go ahead and call us names, dog. Do your thing. Y'all are tripping, but I hope you find the Lord. Give a damn about the names, dog. We feel no shame. Call us anything you want, I'm getting bored.
Man, the thing that I'd like to point out on that ending, God could use anybody. And I think God's using Tom MacDonald and trying to reach down with him at the same time.
Sure, yeah, and I've seen a kind of a growth in his music over the last few years, and it's really cool to see. But with that said, we may not say everything perfectly in our videos, but we do desire to study, to intentionally look in and say, I believe this is right. And if it comes down to it and you see something we totally said that was like did not make sense at all, please let us know. If you like certain things about this reaction video, please let us know below. It helps the algorithm giant move forward as we try to grow this channel. Be a part of it. Subscribe. Come along with us.
If there's something we can say, and I hope that you can get out of this video, I'd like to say, be careful as to what names you're calling somebody.
Yeah.
You don't know what that'll do. Granted, to you might think like Neovold names shouldn't hurt you, but we do live in a society today of people who do get hurt by those words.
We should not just throw names around and be like, oh, it shouldn't hurt you. Like, truly, we shouldn't internalize it when it comes at us, especially from a mob the mob that we call the woke mob. But we, as people who are awake in many senses, should not throw the names around just as flippantly right back at them. We should not fight fire with fire. That does not put out the fire.
An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind.
An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind.
There you go. And with that said, we're gonna wrap up today's video. Again, let us know what you think, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and come back again next week for another JSM More Than Music video.
Stay blessed, stay humbled, and
Have God vibes.